Hello, 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 hello. How are you out there? Do you ever feel like no matter how much money you make, it still slips away? Or that every time you try to stick to a budget, life does all the things and then throws something unexpectedly at you? Tonight, I'm breaking down how to build a budget that you can actually stick to and one that fits your real life. This is Budgeting for Your Lifestyle, and I am the Nicole Johnson.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson. Let's go!
And welcome to the Nicole Johnson TV. I am so glad to have you here tonight because we'll be diving into something that every woman, and I mean every woman at some point in life, has wrestled with at some point in time. Trying to create a budget that actually fits your lifestyle instead of fighting against it. Can anybody understand that? Anybody? If you're in the comments, if you're joining us on Facebook, if you're joining us on YouTube, wherever you're joining and tuning in from, welcome to tonight's show. But I want to know in the comments, does this talk about you? I know it did for me at some point in time. And if this is your first time joining me, allow me to introduce myself. I am the Nicole Johnson, the founder and CEO of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle, as well as the She Economy Hub. And I teach ambitious women to build wealth, live abundantly, and budget for the life that they really want. Because some of us are out here just winging it, okay? And it's time out for that. How are you guys tonight? Sound off in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. And if you want, you can tell me where you're tuning in from. So before we jump into tonight's discussion, I have something really, really important that I want to share with you, something that is very, very close to my heart. So let me get it up on the screen. Hold on. Let me do all of the things that I'm supposed to do. All right. So I want to introduce you to the She Economy Hub. And right now, we are in a giving campaign to help raise money to help women move from financial survival to financial power. So while you're here, be sure to visit the sheeconomyhub.org and give what you can. Your generosity helps another woman build her life just like you are building yours. Okay. So I'll leave that up there for you guys for a little bit. All right. Before we get into it, the first thing I want you to do is make sure you have pen and paper. You guys have pen and paper because I think I might drop a gem or two for you on tonight. Make sure you have pen and paper so that you can take notes because I got mine right here. Okay. So let's be honest. Y'all ready? Can you tell me why you think most budgets fail? I'll tell you what I hear. Most budgets fail because they're built around deprivation and not strategy. A lot of people feel like in order for me to stick to a budget, I make six figures. To be on a budget, that means I can't go out shoe shopping. I can't go out to lunch and brunch with my girls. I can't go on vacation. All of these things I have to cut out of my life in order to stick to a budget. And guess what? You're gung ho, you're excited. You got a new notebook, you got highlighters, you got your spreadsheets, you done downloaded 72 apps to try to stay on track. And 3 weeks later, you're right back ordering DoorDash, shopping on Amazon, and afraid to look at your bank statement. You know why? Because you set yourself up to fail. Budgets don't work because they don't include your real life, right? You got kids, you have perhaps you're taking care of a parent or a loved one, but even more importantly, sometimes you've got your own emotional triggers, things that set you off. They done made you mad at work. You're stressed out. Now you got stress eating, stress shopping, entitlement, all of these things that are going on because it's a bunch of real things happening in your life. And when your budget is created on deprivation, starving yourself of things that you really want, you don't stick to it. You have set yourself up to fail. All right, so now that you have your pen and your paper, I want you to write this down. Okay, I got a few notes for you to take. Number one, time. Time is our most valuable commodity. And you'll see why I tell you to write that down because some of you all need a reminder. I used to need a reminder. Some of you need a reminder. Time is your most valuable commodity. Okay. And what I want you to write down next is that your budget is a tool. I'm going to say that part again because there's another part to that. Your budget is a tool. It is a tool to tell your money where to go so you don't waste time. Your most valuable commodity, waste time trying to figure out where it went. I'm gonna say that again in case I got some people who need to process. You need to process, okay? Your budget is a tool to tell your money where to go so you don't waste time trying to figure out where it went. Okay. I hope this helps somebody because it helped me when I actually start putting it into practice. Okay. So instead of my money coming in and then because I've had these triggers and this life happening, I'm just spend, 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 spend. And then I look at my bank account like this. No, we're not doing that. If I want a massage, it's in the budget. If I want brunch, it's in the budget. If I want to travel, it's in the budget. You make enough money. You just don't know where it has gone. So you spend time trying to figure that out so you can get it to go in the right place. No, if you start out with a strategy, you don't have to do that. So you can budget, travel, dine out, buy those journals, journal, because some of us go overboard. We got a journal for every day of the week, every topic. No, just one good one, okay? Within limitations, ladies, within limitations. I know I'm not alone in that. I know I'm not. If I told you to go pull out anyway, we don't have enough time for that. So listen, instead of saying I need to cut this or that, because we are budgeting for the lifestyle that you want, so you can actually have a budget that you stick to. What does a budget for my lifestyle look like? I like to my massages are a must. That tension that sits up here, it don't feel good, right? It does not feel good, and I want somebody to really work it out. So my massages are in my budget, but they're also in my flexible spending account too, so I get reimbursed tax free. Come on now, don't when you got a plan, baby, you cannot underestimate a woman with a prayer and a plan. Okay, do not play with me. Okay, so but I like to travel. And I don't like to put my travel on my credit card unless I'm just doing it for the points, but the money is already there to make sure it's paid for. So I plan those trips in advance to make sure that that's done. I don't have to skip on where I want to go and what I want to do. I plan for it, and you need to do the same thing. Okay. So instead of saying, what do I need to cut? What is it that fits my lifestyle? That means write it out. You might need to tailor how often you go get that massage. Okay. You might need to tailor how many journals you actually purchase. You might need to tailor how often you go out to lunch with the girls. Is this making sense? I hope this is making sense. Okay. But then when you start looking at a budget, you need to ask yourself, what are my non negotiables? What is it that I have to have? And when you can identify those things that you have to have, then they go on the budget. Okay, let me give an example. Someone I know, she has to not only have a massage, but she has to go see this separate technician that does this foot massage that sends her all the way to the moon and back. But because she's on her feet so much, she has to take care of her feet and the way her pressure is and all these different things. I don't know if that's the truth for her. I think it just make her feel good, but as long as it's in the budget, right? So can she do the massage, the reflexology twice a month? if she plans, she makes more than enough money. She absolutely can. Can she do it every week? She cannot. She cannot. She should not. Okay. But those are the things that are important to her. If it is important for you and your girls to get together to meet at that restaurant once a month or twice a month for that exquisite brunch that you all like to do, put it in the budget. If it's not in the budget, then tailor it back. There was a time when I first started really focusing on the budget that I had to literally stop all the extras before a limited time. And what I did was I gathered up how I saved that money and set aside for that time. So when you start working on your savings, you pay into your savings like it's a bill. When you start working on the non-negotiables, the things that I want in my lifestyle, you have to have a plan. So when the Bible told you to write the vision and make it plain, this is the strategic roadmap that you need to budget for your lifestyle. Whether you make four figures, five figures, six figures, it does not matter. Your budget needs to include the things that you must have in order for you to stick to it. Okay. A lifestyle aligned budget is about your intention. People ask me all the time, Nicole, you deal with money. Why do you spend so much time talking about our mindset? Listen, I could bring my clients into a Zoom meeting. They've emailed me their budget, the budget forms, and all of the things. And I could sit over here, spend a little bit of time, and be like, okay, don't do this, and we're not doing that, and red line everything and then send it back to them, explain to them what they need to do and all of that. And in 30 days, they'll be sitting back here talking about, I don't know what happened. Because if your mindset has not changed to tailor your spending habits, the numbers don't make sense on paper because in application and practicality, you are not implementing well. That way, you cannot manifest the goals that you have written down because you have not had your transformation. And you cannot have a transformation without intentional actions. Put that on your paper. I will not have my transformation without intentional actions. Y'all got that? I hope you got that. I'm gonna say it again at some point in time. Maybe not tonight. Maybe it needs to marinate over there a little bit, but that's okay. All right. So, what I want to do now is take just a few moments and share with you something else that's close to my heart that is going on in January of 2026. I have been working on this really, really hard, and we do a vision and empowerment retreat here in Dallas for all you Dallas people. Now, if you just want to come visit us in January, please do. It will be held January 15th through the 17th at the Sandman Signature Hotel here in Plano, Texas. And it is a 3-day excursion. It's perfect. It's a perfect space for women who need a weekend to unplug, to start to dream again. I tell them they have one set of instructions, okay? Because they are coming to release, relax, and rejuvenate. And in order to do that, they have to leave all their concerns. Before they walk out that door, everything they're worried about, put in a bag. Everybody that's bugging them, put them in a bag. Put them in the bag. Put it in the bag. Put it in the bag. Put it in the bag. People, places, things, problems, issues, concern, all of it. Put it in a bag. Tie it up. Throw it away. They not some of them not that bold. Just hang it on the hook. Okay. And when you walk out that door, you bring happiness. You bring the joy that you want. Act like you got it, even if you don't. Okay. Because once you arrive in Dallas, once you arrive at that hotel, we're going to make sure that for the next 3 days, you got it. We're going to feed you spiritually, emotionally. You're gonna see girls get together and hug, and that's all they do. Ain't really no conversation, just that hug, so you can release those things that are holding you back. And before you go, we're going to make sure that you have clarity, confidence, and control. Okay. And somebody's probably sitting there saying, how can I get that in just a short amount of time? Because you don't know how powerful the people are that are in that room that are going to pour into your spirit, that are going to pour into giving you a practical set of tips that are going to give you what I call your roadmap, your strategic roadmap, so that when you leave and you get back home and that bag is sitting there waiting, or them people didn't call, or that thing is waiting for you, you're going to be very strategic in one, how you pick it up, and two, how you handle it. I promise you, there are people that were here in January of 2025, and guess what? They are still floating on their experience from that retreat. And so it is very near and dear to my heart. So if you see that site right there, go check us out so that you can join us and start off your 2026, not just with excitement and New Year's resolutions. We don't do that around here. We create strategic roadmaps so that we can have clarity. If you're standing there saying, I need a reset from life, I need clarity for my future, this is the time that you should be looking to register. And here's what I love about it even more, it's an opportunity going on right now where you can buy one ticket and get one free. So you can bring your bestie, you can bring your accountability partner, because friends don't let friends reach goals by themselves, okay? It's enough room at the top for us to all eat together. So grab a girlfriend or your boyfriend, whoever, and join us in Dallas live for the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Vision and Empowerment Retreat, local in Dallas, but you can join us. Have Car Will Travel. I got folks that are coming from Florida, Illinois, Maryland, DC, the Carolinas, California, New Orleans. She's driving over. She's stopping in Mississippi, picking up somebody, and they're coming on along the way. So I'm super excited, not to mention those that are right here in Dallas already. So I'm super excited, and we would love to see you there. Okay. So now let's get back to some practical things for your budget that you can actually that will actually help you stick to it. Okay. You've got to name your non-negotiables. I can't say that enough, right? Here's some of the things that people skip over when they are making their budget. They don't put in their travel. They don't put in their self care. They don't put in their tithing. They don't put in their, I'm finna hurt somebody's feelings when I say this, but I love you. I'm saying it out of love. Your therapy. When I get these ladies together, I tell them all the time, a lot of what we do is therapeutic, but I'm not your therapist. I am the Dr. Nicole Johnson. I am, but I'm not your therapist. And some of the things that we need to break through, the self-limiting beliefs, the self-sabotage, the imposter syndrome, and it's a whole lot of other labels that I could give it, but the things that hold us back from where we want to go, the things that we want to accomplish, you got a lot of barriers that you need to break down. Now, in my 5 step process, we do start with an examination of your past, right? Because we need to know, I need to know, and it's helpful for you to know how your habits came about. Who did you see managing money, or who didn't you see managing money? What did you observe? All of that is important. You say, hey, for the therapist to go all the way back to my child. Ma'am, ain't nothing back there I want, sir. Leave that alone. But in my process, have found that it is important, it is vital to understand that. And once that thing clicks, it's the start of the rest of the process. Okay. But but some of us need a little bit more in depth process than what the Dr. Nicole Johnson can give you. So I encourage them to make sure that if they need to seek therapy, do it. I even brought my own therapist in to meet with them because she does do sessions online. And so it is very helpful that not only that you get therapy, you get the right kind of therapy. Okay. And they know, my audience knows, if you don't, if you're new to me, let me say this: I create a safe space for you to divulge some of the most embarrassing, what you might consider the most shameful moments. There's no shame, no guilt, no condemnation, no none of that. What you say here, now, mind you, I tell all their business. I never tell their identity. Okay. I tell their identity in their success stories, but in their trials, when you share the things that have held you back, that is, your testimony becomes an outlet for someone else. You'd be surprised how many six-figure women are out here living paycheck to paycheck. And I'll tell you, they're not even paycheck to paycheck. They paycheck to the next paycheck, half a paycheck, right? This whole paycheck and this half, I'm gonna take care of this half, and then the first of the month. And it's not because it's not enough coming in, it's because they don't know where they're spending. And life has them going on such a Ferris wheel, and at such different speeds, with so many different tactics and responsibilities, and who they're supporting and how they're supporting them. They don't have time to listen to me say, sit down, grab your bank statements, get your highlighter or six, because we're going to categorize the things that you've been spending. They don't want to do that. And some of them is not because, and I know I'm talking to somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know I'm talking to somebody. It's not because you don't want to make the time. It's because you're afraid to look at the reality of what's going to show up on that paper. But I'm here to tell you, the only way to change what you're doing and what you're experiencing, the emotions that you're going to because your money is looking funny and is laughing at you on a regular basis, is to look at it. You got to look at it. But you don't have to do it alone, okay? That's where therapy comes in. That is where I come in to help you get over that. And we can not only look at it as a review of where you've been, we use it to craft and change and implement new things so that when you start going through that transformation and start that implementation phase, now you be happy to look at that bank statement, honey, because the changes that you will begin to see will now cause your bank account to go up, will cause your debt to go down, will cause your credit score to go up, that savings balance to go up, that investment portfolio. Now we really are moving into the wealthy women lifestyle. Okay. Those are your non negotiables. And sometimes you need help identifying what those are. You stick around, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and turn on your notifications, because you're going to get a lot of that here. All right. And so, too, now if you've named those non negotiables, whether you do it with me or without me, you got to do it. Okay. You've got to do it. But then we put systems in place. Okay. This is the part where I say systems before sacrifice. You do not need more willpower. You don't need to actually say, okay, heaven and earth move together. Burn the sage. All right. Light the incense. You don't need to do that. You need systems, plain and simple. You need to know what systems are going to help you keep things in check. Okay. You need to know what those are going to be. I actually have several programs that I recommend for my clients. I tell them to do several different steps so that they can start to automate how they pay their bills. But that comes with organization, it comes with structure, it's a strategic plan. All right. And what I want you to do is make sure that you have your notifications on, because over the next couple of, we're going to close out 2025 stronger than ever. You stick around with me. I promise you that you will close it out stronger than ever. Okay. And for some of you, you need that because you don't actually have a safe place to say, I'm failing. I'm failing. I don't know how to stop this. I don't know how to break this habit. And guess what? It's okay because I remember those days. Can I share something with you? Let me share something with you. One of the hardest things for me to do was to talk about how I filed bankruptcy twice. It was so much fun the first time. I had to do it again. Don't believe that lie. That's not what it was. Okay. Fresh out of college, young and dumb, signing every credit card application that was placed in front of me. But when these little envelopes started coming from these credit card companies, I was like, what am I supposed to what do I do with this? Mm. Half of them I didn't open, and when I did open, I didn't read it. Okay. Now, I have a family, I have a child, I have a husband. I'm like, okay, let's get rid of this. Let's give me a fresh start. How many of you know that even with a fresh start, if you don't have new knowledge, mindset, you'll go right back to what you were doing before. And that's what I did. I went right back to what I was doing before because that attorney said this is a fresh start. This is going to help you and your family. He didn't give me the tools. How many of you are out there just trying to wing it? You got no tools. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to write out a budget. I was 30 plus years old the first time I actually wrote out a budget. I used to just write bills. I used to write out the check, mail it out, and be like, by the time it get there, the post office run. Okay, if I drop it in tonight, it'll actually go out tomorrow. That'll get there in 2.5 days, and then it'll reach. There was a lot of strategic planning on hoping that check cash instead of having a strategy on telling my money actually what to do. Okay. So when I went through it the second time without an attorney, I told myself, you can't do this again. You can't be in this spot again. And what are we learning from this? It was a while after that one before it got better, but I found a why. How many of you have a why? A why that's so strong. Now we way off script. I'm telling y'all, we way off track. But I think this is good because in order to get your budget together, your mindset got to be right, right? And you got to decide, I'm doing this. I am going to put my finances in order because I have to have a why that is so strong and personal to me that nothing and nobody will get in my way, including me. One of the first things that I found when I looked at my budget was, baby, why are you at the restaurant so much? It's nothing like, okay, every Friday, mama ain't cooking. Whatever you get lucky enough to get in that pot, that's potluck, that's what you eat. No, it was Tuesday, it was Thursday, Saturday morning, Sunday evening. We weren't door dashing, but we was dashing to the restaurant door. Okay, that's what we were doing. But when I decided that I was tired of apartment living, I was tired of being on the third floor of an apartment building that didn't have no elevator. And I was fluffy, fluffy. Okay, I'm just fluffy now, but I was fluffy, fluffy then. Taking two small kids up and down the stairs, laundry up and down the stairs, groceries up and down the stairs, me up and down the stairs. After a while, it was like, I'm sick of it. You understand? So the why became my children. The why became I wanted home ownership. I wanted something more. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody ain't for that. And that's okay. Your why is not my why, and my why is not going to be yours. So, whatever you love is what you love. And I love that for you. What I love for me. And that's what I did. Okay? That's what I did. What is it for you? What is it for you? What is the non negotiable? Okay? So, once you determine that, then now you have something that's going to make you say, you can't swipe there all the time. Nicole, you can't eat out. We stopped going to IHOP and started instead of International House's pancakes, we started going to Nicole's International Cream of Pancakes. You stay home. And there's some ancient mama pancake mix in the cabinet. Okay? That's what we did. That's why I bought it so we can cook it. It was a little bit more taxing, but at the end, after a year and a half of strategic planning, it's what helped me become a homeowner on 9909. Biggest house in the community, on that little cul-de-sac, I should say. Everything that I wanted for the house with a 2.25% interest rate. Don't tell me what a good plan won't do. Do not underestimate a woman with a prayer and a plan. And baby, I walked in with both. You hear me? All right. I hope that was some jewels you wrote down because I told you get your pen and paper. Okay. So systems. And if you want to know what kind of system, Nicole, what systems do I need? Let me tell you. I'm going to put this link up here and I want you to go and let me find it. Here we go. I want you to go join me on school. I uploaded some free resources. Oh, it's going to knock your socks off. All right. So join me over there because I'm all about making sure you know what to do, not just what, but how. That's the part folks won't tell you. Not just the what, the how. Okay. After naming your non negotiables and putting systems in place, you gotta plan for real life. Listen, we get caught up on social media and what the Joneses do. I have not yet met the Joneses. I don't know who they are. So I'm not trying to keep up with them. And I hope you are not either. Okay. I hope you are not either. And so we have to plan for life happenings because what's going to happen is life is going to do those things. And it doesn't give you a heads up. It's called an accident. I went traveling around the city of Dallas one day, running errands, running errands. And when I walked out that door, I wasn't saying, "Oh, I'm gonna have an accident right around 2:30." But at 2:30 or 2:30 ish, I sure did. Had one total my whole truck. But not one time did I think about, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for even for the deductible? Because I was sure at fault. I was at fault. I was. Okay. I didn't think about that because I had planned and that emergency fund was sitting over there waiting for whatever I needed. What I focused on was my recovery, right? That's what I was able to focus on. So when life happens and you stressed out about how to pay for it, let me tell you something. I want you to write this down. Life happenings hit differently when our money is in order. Life happenings hit differently when our money is in order. Okay. The stress and anxiety that a lot of us are feeling is keeping us up at night. It's got our blood pressure up, that eye twitching, the hand itching, and you don't know why because it's stress. It ain't because you got some money coming, baby. You stressed. So your skin is starting to react. Okay. Life can and will get messy. You got kids, especially them little ones, they forever hurting themselves, knocking up into something, throwing something that they thought was, playful. Next thing you know, somebody then got hit in the head. They need 12 stitches. Okay. Back in the day, it was us running around the playground. Those metal monkey bars, you can't see it, but way up in here, I fell off the monkey bars, had to get about 9 or 10 stitches in my head. I know my mama wasn't prepared for that. She wasn't prepared. But that's what happens when you have little ones. Okay? Accidents happen. But guess what? Let me tell you what else people don't prepare for. Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving, those things that happen the same time every year. Christmas is always December 25th. It's always that day. And middle of November, I was like, well, I can't believe Christmas right around the corner. I ain't even started getting ready for getting my Christmas list together. Well, why you ain't starting January? You knew December was gonna get here, but it don't always happen like that. I get that. But if you continuously pay into your savings like it's a bill, you won't get surprised. be dropping all the gems. Y'all ain't got to tell me. You don't have to tell me. The proof is in the pudding. So when my client comes to me say, Nicole, I paid off $75,000 worth of debt in 15 months because of the things that you told me, I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. When that six-figure woman came, Nicole, I need to know where my money is going. And after 60 days, she knew and also had a strategic plan. I know what I'm talking about. I absolutely know what I'm talking about. And I want you to experience that. I want you to build cushion in your money so surprises do not sabotage you. I want you to build cushion, pay into your bill, to your savings like it's a bill. You pay into bills every day, pay into your savings. As often as you pay a bill, you pay into savings. Okay. And if you need to know how to do that, join me. School is for all different types of education. Come over there and get yourself. Okay. When you start budgeting, build your budget with intention. Don't budget out of guilt and deprivation. Build your budget with intention, not out of deprivation. Okay. So here's what I tell people when it comes to building a budget. When you write out your budget, it's always a reflection of the story of the things that you believe you deserve. So if you have a scarcity mindset, your budget won't include things that you consider to be extra, your massages, your trips, the dining out. That's extra. But to the person, especially to the woman who actually believes that this is a lifestyle, and if I'm accustomed to this and this is what I want to treat myself to, it goes in the budget. It goes in the budget. If you constantly feel like you have to struggle, it will show up in your spending. Believe that. If you start believing you are worthy of peace and saving and preparation, that shows up too. When they say, when somebody shows you who they are to believe them, that goes for who you show yourself who you are as well. Oh, child, we is getting it in. Okay. So tonight I want you to take inventory, and it's not about the numbers. It is, where is your mindset? Take inventory of your mindset and ask yourself. I posted this today. Make sure you're following me on Facebook as well as YouTube. Give yourself the same amount of grace that you give to other people. I hope my client is listening, because right before I came on here tonight, had to have a very stern conversation with her. And when I leave, because the community is coming together to rally around her, do you have are your boundaries strong enough? Do you have strong enough boundaries in place that people don't take advantage of you? And where do you need to believe that you have and deserve financial peace? Is it in your home? Is it in your money in your bank account? Because when your money look right, baby, that pillow top and that expensive pillow feel differently when that bank account fat. Trust and believe. Listen, that's a level of peace that surpasses a whole different level of understanding. Okay, now I want you guys to let that sink in. Okay. And I want to actually bring something else to your attention. I am actually doing multiple things inside of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle. And I'm super, super excited to be able to share those with you guys. Okay. I am also looking for speakers to tell their story of prosperity. In April of 2026, I am looking for speakers who can tell their stories about how prosperity, what it looks like, how to redefine it, how to reclaim it, because everybody is not on the struggle bus, and you don't have to be either. And sometimes we need to hear the success of someone else before it sparks and stirs something inside of us to make us believe and help us see that we can be successful too. You can have a level of success and peace that you deserve if you put your mind to it, if you are intentional in moving to get it. Oh my goodness, that feels so good to say. It feels so good to share that with you guys because I'm not just telling you the what you can do. I'm bringing together, I'm curating over 100 people to tell their story so that you can hear it over and over and over and over again. Because I guarantee you, there are going to be at least five people, at least five, probably more, but at least five that are going to tell their story in such a way that is so heartfelt to you. It's going to feel like they were walking in your shoes as you were living your life. The devil wants you to think that whatever you're going through, you're the only one going through it. And that is a lie. That's why I don't have no problem telling nobody, yes, I filed bankruptcy. I sure did. And after that, I went on to become the baddest homeowner in that little cul-de-sac. Because people were still asking me, how did you get a 2.25% interest rate? How did you only go to the closing table with $600? What a mighty God I serve. Okay. So when you can hear other people not only have they experienced what you're going through right now, not only have they experienced it, they got through it, they survived it, and they're thriving. And they're thriving. That's the part right there. We don't want to live in survival mode. That is not our portion. That is not our ministry. We are not meant to just live in survival mode. We are meant to thrive. He said we shall not live in lack. We are meant to thrive. Okay. I can't survive. I can't just survive. Surviving is the coming out. Okay. I'm done with that. Now let me soar. Let me go higher. And as I go higher, not only am I going to go higher, let me tell you something. I believe in taking someone with me. I'm not just trying to, I don't want to be at the top by myself. When I order that steak, I want to see what you having. Oh, I bet that's gonna be good. I want to have somebody to chit chat with. I want to have somebody to laugh it up with. And if I can get 5 or 6 people, 8 or 9 people, listen, it's enough room for us to all eat. What's up, Tony? What's up, DJ Tony from the Chicago land area? Hey, DJ. So listen, these speakers, I want you to apply at speak at Wealthy Women Lifestyle Prosperity Summit.com. When you go on there and you are a speaker, click on apply to speak. Make sure you click on apply to speak. This is your opportunity to tell your story. I guarantee you that your story is going to spark life into someone else. And that's a blessing. And blessings are meant to be shared. Ooh, child, let me move on before we be crying up in here tonight. Let me move on before we be crying up in here tonight. So listen, I'm so glad you guys have been here with me. Here's your challenge for this week. Here's your challenge for this week. Take a look at your budget. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to tell you to take a look at your budget. Print out your last 30-day bank statement. Ooh, child, they get mad when I tell them to do that. Hold on. Look, I have the audacity to tell them to get a highlighter, right? And some of them need about five of them, 6 or 7 of them. And it's okay. Listen, I don't care. I wouldn't care if you need 12 of them. Go through your last bank statement. Highlight in different colors. Make your legend at the bottom on another sheet of paper. make your legend. You should have categories like, okay, you're going to have one for your bills, household expenses, whatever you want to call it. You're going to have one for your dining out. You're going to have one I label it unnecessary spending because you know you didn't need to buy that. That was not a need. That was definitely an unwanted wanted want. Okay. Um, Entitlement spending. Some of us got entitlement spending issues. All right. Emotional spending. You bought that bag, you knew you shouldn't have bought it. You bought them shoes. Fellas, I'm not leaving y'all out. You bought that game. You know you could have borrowed it from the library or from a friend. All right, but you just had to have it. Okay, that cigar, that liquor, or what have you said, that liquor, or whatever. Okay, no, you didn't need that. But whatever it is, give it a name. Add, highlight it, make you different categories, and at the end, total up each category. Okay. And a lot of people get mad when I tell them to do this, but it's okay. I'm telling you for a reason. We are increasing our intention on what we do with our money. Okay. We are increasing our intention on what we do with our money. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to see when I do it with my client, I tell them in a minute, I'm gonna run a tape on you. Yes, I still use one of those. Okay, I'm gonna run a tape on you. And then after I do that, and I give them that grand total, I go back and I multiply it by 12. They really don't like me when I do that. And Nicole does not care. But when I multiply it by 12, because I need you to see the bigger picture, what you spend in a month is a small portion of what you do for the year. If you plan your goals for the year, you should plan your spending for the year. So if you're spending $600 a month on dining out, that's your down payment on your house. That's the balance on that credit card that you could pay off. Save on the interest that's 23%, 18%, 19%, 12%, 8.5%. Right? You could take that same $600 a month, add it to your mortgage payment, and prepay your house. You shave years off of that and save thousands of dollars of interest. Come on now. Intention. I didn't mean to be here this long, y'all. I really didn't. I didn't. But listen, if I'm going to help you set a budget for your lifestyle, I got to get down and dirty with you. And some of you are spending as much as you make. That's not how you live a wealthy woman lifestyle. Your money has to have some room that you can not only save, it's got to be able to budget, it's got to be able to grow, you got to be able to invest. But if you got $6,000 coming in and you spend $5,999.99, baby, you ain't done nothing. Okay. I'm just saying. So look at your last 30-day bank statement. Let me say this. This is no time to condemn yourself for what you've already done. This is to educate yourself on what you need to change. It's with intention. And if you need help doing that, if you need a walkthrough, I want you to make sure you join me on school because I'm going to do something. I meet with my community, my VIPs, every Saturday, first Saturday of the month. We got one more Saturday, first Saturday of the month in this year. December, let me look at the calendar real quick. Let me help y'all out. December 6th. Make sure you join me on school. Okay. Make sure you join me on school. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. When the people who are registered in the school program over there and pick up the free resources, there's a course called the magic of starting over. It's so much over there that you're going to learn and realize what it is you need to do. I'm going to have a special invitation for you. I'm going to have something very special on Saturday, December 6th. So go on and join over there. Use the link below. And I want you to be present and not condemn yourself for what you've already done. It's unnecessary because you can't change it. Okay. When you do this exercise, it's going to show you where your money is going. It's going to show you where your energy is. It's going to help you realize what your mindset is. Okay. You didn't get in the financial situation that you're in overnight. It took years. Won't take you years to get out of it. Not with me. Let me say that. It's progress, not perfection. And we celebrate and acknowledge any step that you make towards getting out of your mess. Okay. So let me give you a tip. Let me give you another tip. Tomorrow is Dump Your Change Friday. It is a simple, powerful way to build your savings habit, one step at a time. So make sure that you clean that purse out. You check those couch cushions, especially if you had company. Check those pants pockets. Dump all of that change into one space and actually do it every Friday, because all you're doing is establishing and creating the habit to change. When the money changes, all you have to do is change the deposit amount. The habit is already in existence. I thank you so much for joining me on the Nicole Johnson TV. And if this episode blessed you, please do me a favor, share it, comment, make sure you're subscribed, and turn on your notifications. Let's keep building this community of women who are ready to live abundantly, budget boldly. And until next time, I am the Nicole Johnson, teaching you how to budget for your lifestyle and build prosperity with purpose. All right, I'll see you guys next time.